Hello, good afternoon everyone. My name is Pooja Rai. I'm a second year MBA student. I'm going to give you a small presentation on supply chain planning, and the subject from which this topic is taken is supply chain management. So let's begin with definition. What is the definition of supply chain planning? It is SCP is forward-looking process of coordinating assets to optimize the delivery of goods, services and information from the supplier to the customer, balancing supply and demand. So this is the basic definition. Planning means what? You have to plan how to you have to plan how to manage the things, like you have to manage your transportation, you have to manage your warehousing, you have to manage your inventory, and these planning of all these things, all these terms, so that you can satisfy your customer end user, is basically known as planning. So data driven analysis, data driven information helps to improve our decisions in supply chain. So these 2 points, like data driven analysis and the data driven information, helps to improve our decisions in supply chain, means it helps to improve the decision while doing planning in supply chain. All right. So role of analytics is very important when you are taking important decisions in supply chain. So role of analytics means you have a data, you analyze that data, you have information, you analyze those informations. So these two things plays a very important role when you take important decisions in supply chain. Supply chain planning is also called as a second phase of supply chain decision making. All right, it is a second stage of decision making. It is also known as a tactical phase, as you can see on the slide. The scope of planning is relatively shorter, so it is not for a very longer period of time, but it is moderately, or you can say it is relatively shorter. All right, let's move ahead. As you can see here, what I'm trying to say, let's see the process. So it begins with a strategy, as in you make strategies where your company's layout will be there, where your function this warehouse, retailers, and these things, the location, everything will be there, what kind of product you want to make it, that all those strategies, all those things comes into the first process, that is known as a strategic. All right. So it is a three process flow is of three sections, or you can say stages: strategic, planning and operational. So we are here to discuss about the second stage, that is called as a planning. I have shown in the previous slide as well that it is also called as the second stage of you when you are doing all your this activities. So it begins with strategy, then it comes to planning, and then it comes to the operational level. So supply chain planning means what? It is you are making a set of policies that will help you to govern, or that will help you to govern the short term operations. As in you are taking a decision. Okay, you are taking a decision in which you are planning to open a factory in Uttarakhand. All right, and you have decided that it will take at least 5 years to make a factory over there. So for those 5 years, what you're going to do, you cannot sit idle. You have to make your annual reports, which can be annually or which can be 6 monthly. So in that you have to analyze those things. So this is the meaning of you are developing a set of goals, your set of policies, you can say, that will govern your short term operations. All right, then fixed by supply configuration from the previous phase. So planning is affected, definitely obviously affected by the previous phase, that is strategic level. So it is the data which comes from strategic level affects the planning level. All right. So you have to, for example, if I say that I'm going to make a factory, and that will take 5 years. All right. So in those 5 years, you are going to plan the things, or you are going to make a different set of policies, and you are going to make different reports, or that will show the annual effect, or the annual budget. You are going to make the annual budget of the project which you are trying to implement in Uttarakhand in another coming 4 years, 5 years, whatever the date you have fixed. All right. So it and the third part which comes, that it starts with the forecast of demand in the coming year. So this is very important. Here comes the number, that is data, demand forecast. All right. So here this is the planning is affected by the numbers which comes from the business. Okay. So you have to plan according to the numbers which you get it from the business. So this means that you are basically dependent on the historical data. Normally planning happens on the basis of the historical data which you get it, which you already have sales data or the forecasted data, but it's a historical data. You already have it, and on the basis of that you make a forecast of the upcoming years, of upcoming periods, you can say that. All right, so that is the meaning of demand forecasting. But now in these days, using data analytics will help you not to take the data which is of the previous years, but you can take the data of the upcoming years. That is called as a predictive modeling. So data analytics helps a lot in this. So you're not dependent on taking the historical data now, which is also called as a time series analysis, but here you are dependent on the data which will be coming in the future. On the basis of these things you will derive the number, and that things, all these things above points which I have mentioned comes under planning. All right, so this is a detailed explanation about planning. All right, now let's discuss something about planning decisions. Planning decisions as in what? You have to make certain decisions in this. Which market will be the supplier from which location? Okay, so you have a wholesaler in one state, and you have a wholesaler, and you have distributors, you have retailers, different retailers you have in different states, areas of the city or the cities of that particular state only, for example, or overall distributed in the country. So now you have to make decision that I have got this warehouse or the distributor right here, so this retailer will be supplied from this distributor or this wholesaler. So that decision has to be taken at the time of planning. Okay, so this one retailer one will be in the inventory will go to retailer number 1 from this warehouse, retailer number 2 from this warehouse, and so on. In this way it happens. So you have to take the decision from which location you have to supply to which retailer. Then you have to plan build of inventories. So what earlier used to happen, that is a conventional supply chain. In those things, the different planning happens at different level. All right, so the distributors or retailers and wholesalers, they keep their own inventories. They are not bothered about the inventory of the manufacturer is not bothered about the inventory of the wholesalers or the distributors, and so on. They are independent to each other, but that is segregated, so that ultimately affects the profit of supply chain. That should not happen. So what you have to do in the planning level, what you have to do is you have to take an integrated decision of maintaining an inventory at all the levels. Okay, so you are going to decide what inventory you have to keep at a wholesaler, what inventory you will maintain at distributor, and what inventory will be there at retailer's end. That decision is taken in planning, and you have to decide that. No, that distributor, wholesaler and retailers will not decide it. So okay, that is called as a planned building of inventories. Then you are talking about subcontracting and backup locations. So backup locations and subcontracting means you have to decide that what all locations can be subcontracted, what all material or the items can be subcontracted. That decision is also taken in planning level. All right, inventory policies we already spoke before. What will be the time and size of the market promotions? So actually the time and the size of the market promotion should ideally come in the marketing section of the company, but here people say that supply chain plays a very important role in this, as well as the timing and the size of market promotion. For example, iPhone 7 is going to get launched very soon. It's going to get launched. For example, on 10th of September 2017 it was announced that iPhone 7 will come into the market now. So that is the part of marketing department. They are promoting that iPhone 7 will come into the market. So what is the role of supply chain in this? It is the role of supply chain is that you are responsible to keep the sufficient inventories at your distributors, wholesalers and retailers end, so that when it is launched, it should be easily accessible to the people. It should be easily available in the market, so that people come and buy it. So this is how timing and size of the promotion relates to supply chain management or planning, we can say. So this comes under planning. You must also consider the following decisions like demand uncertainty. You should be prepared of this. All right, so you make a huge bulk of material, and you feel that the as per the previous consumption pattern, this will not get consumed, but something goes wrong, and the consumption pattern becomes very high. So that comes under that comes under market uncertainty. All right. So exchange rates also plays a very important role in the planning stage. So exchange rate, as in different countries have different currencies. When you import and export the things, when you do that, it affects the profitability of the supply chain. So exchange rate also plays a very important role. Okay. So competition over the time horizon, this is extremely important term which I want to discuss. That is, what competition means. Previously it used to happen that America and Japan are the two major countries which are competing with each other. All right. So in the, now what has happened is that now China has entered into the market. Now you can see everywhere Chinese product in America, markets and the whole this malls and markets, you can see all Chinese products. In Japan, the same, the China, you can see the Chinese products. So China now, before it was America and Japan who were competing with each other. I'm talking about the two developed countries. And when China came into the picture, it is the competition has increased. So you cannot make a judgment over there when someone can come and hit the market and becomes a very big competitor for you. All right. So in the same way, in India also you can see the Chinese product, but still India has that capacity that they can sustain with their own products as well. So it is not only about China, it is not only about America or Japan, it is about India as well. So it is all, what I'm trying to say is that the competition can drastically increase, and you cannot decide the time horizon for this. It can be any, it can be on any time. Like America can come into the frame, Japan can come into the frame, China has already come into the frame, and many other, Germany, France, or the developed countries can come into the frame, and they can start competing with you in the market. So these are the very important things that you have to consider while planning and while taking the planning decisions, when you are thinking to build a company, or a manufacturing unit, or so this is very important, key important function of supply chain management. So that's all from my side. I think I have tried explaining you everything. Thank you so much for your time.